Hi everyone and welcome to today's Pilates class. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're ready for a lovely workout. We're going to be in standing to start with and coming down into full point kneeling and then doing some lovely front line extension work. So it's going to use your entire body as ever. And we're using just a little bit of equipment today. You're going to need your Pilates mat as usual, your head cushions. I've got a couple here just so we can adjust and adapt as we need. Your resistance band, this is a medium one, so it's got quite a lot of stretching, but it's not super light. And finally, you'll need your hand weights. These are 1 kilogram. If you don't have hand weights, tins of beans, bottles of water, anything like that does the job just as well. So let's get started. Now, please remember that if there's anything that we do that doesn't suit you and your body, you don't have to do it. You can sit any exercises out that you wish, and you can take any of the adaptations as well to make the workout more suitable for you and your body. So starting today in our Pilates stance, we have our heels together, toes apart, and thinking about length through our legs and the muscles inside, just drawing together so you're really supported through your legs. Tummy muscles are just slightly engaged so you're standing super tall, and think about the breastbone lifting up towards the ceiling as well as lifting up through the crown of the head. So we're standing as tall and as strong as possible. Just starting with a warm up here by going into a shoulder roll, keeping everything else really still. Let's bring our shoulders up, back, down and around. Forward, up, back, down and around. Nice and smoothly. And we're just breathing normally here, thinking about getting lots of air into our bodies. Lovely, rolling around here. Oh, there's a big click going on with me. 2 more times round, keeping the toes relaxed. And now let's reverse, go the opposite way. So 8 times round in the opposite direction. Keeping it smooth here. And we'll go 3, 2, and 1, and bring the arms down. Well done. So going into our warm-up once again, keeping our body still, we're just going into a single floating arm. So reaching through your middle finger, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, reach the arm out to the side, lifting the arm all the way up. Then as we inhale, bring the arm out to the side and down. Let's go to the other side. Exhale, float up. Inhale, bring the arm down. And again. Exhale, float, keeping your body completely still. Inhale and down. Exhale, float. Inhale down. So hopefully you're feeling that the arm and the shoulder are just moving on the back of the spine really smoothly. And our challenge here is to keep our body really still. So there's still quite a lot going on, even though it's quite a small basic exercise. Let's do one more here. Out to the side and up. Inhale and down. Well done. So now going into a little warm up for our waist. Let's float both arms up, clasp the hands behind the head, keep the elbows nice and wide, and we'll go into our side reach. So breathing in here and now breathing out. Take yourself over to one side, keeping the legs as still as possible. Then restack here back to center. Exhale over to the other side, lovely length through the spine. Inhale back to center. So for me, I can really feel that going over to my right side is nice and smooth. There's very little resistance. Yet when I try to go over to the left side, it's a lot more sticky. Oh, back to center. Brilliant. Keeping the head pressed back into the hands. 2 more times to each side here. Feel that connection around your middle. Still keeping the weight even through your feet. And last one to each side now. Over to the side back to center, over to the side, lovely, back through to center, reach through your arms, bring the arms down. Well done. Rolling the shoulders back, let's get some movement into our ankles, knees and feet, going into our plie squats. So it's very, very easy to go into a full-on Pilates squat where we stick our bottom backwards. What we're trying to do is go into an imaginary sliding down the wall. So you're keeping your spine vertical. So we exhale, knees go out, we slide down the wall. Inhale, press. I'm showing you from the front. We exhale, slide. Inhale, press. Exhale, slide. Inhale, press. Well done. Now, hopefully you're finding that you've got some movement here. If you want to take your feet slightly further apart, that is fine as well. Just make sure you're keeping that lovely vertical spine and your knees are going outwards over the second toe. Let's go 3 more times like this. Maybe feeling that you're getting a little bit more movement when you are warming up. Last one here. And back. So now let's add in a floating arm. So this time we exhale, arms travel up, knees go out. Inhale, back. Exhale, up. Inhale, back. Lovely. So still nice vertical spine, maybe getting a little bit further down. Lovely coordination of arms and legs now, as well as your breathing. 2 more times here. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, and inhale. Lovely. So now we're going to add in a balance here. So that we start just like before. Exhale, sink down, arms travel up, and then as we inhale, press our legs together, squeeze our legs up, and take the arms back behind you into a chest expansion. Let's smoothly lower our heels down, bring them back together, sink down. Press all the way up, arms travel back. Really strong legs. Sink down. And press. Heels down. Oh, that was my ankle going. I'll show you from the side now so you can see that we lengthen up through the crown of the head, take the arms backwards, opening out through the front of the shoulders. So we're working on our posture and opening through. Let's go 4, 3, good, and 2, and our last one here, sinking down and pressing all the way up. Heels come back down and rest through your legs here. Give them a little bit of a walk out. Well done. Good. So from here, we're going to get a lovely openness through the breastbone and through the chest once again by going into pole raises. You can choose either to have your feet in parallel or bring your heels together, toes apart, and then hold the band between your hands. So you've got quite a lot of slack there, but you can adjust this as necessary once we get into the exercise. So starting with your hips facing forward, shoulders down, lifting through the crown of the head. Let's take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, float your arms up directly in front of your shoulders, up and over your shoulders, and then pull the band apart so the band just sits across the shoulders. Inhale, float the arms back up, forward, and down. Let's go again. Breathe out, lift the arms all the way up. Pull the band apart. Inhale, back up, forward and down. So if you feel like you need a little bit more challenge, you make that band ever so slightly tighter. But just make sure that as you bring the arms apart, you're not flicking the wrist back like that. You've got a lovely long back of arm and wrist. Back up, forward and down. Let's go 4 more times. Breathing out, pull apart, inhale, and down. Let's go 3, and 2. I'm getting super static now. Brilliant. And last one here, all the way up. Pull the band apart, well done. Back to the top, forward and down, well done. Taking the band to the side now, let's give our feet a bit of a walk out once again and then take them into a parallel position, ready for our Pilates squats. So trying to get some lovely strength through the legs now. So feet can be parallel ever so slightly together, ever so slightly closer together than hip distance apart if you wish. And if you need to, pop your Pilates ball or your cushion between your legs to give yourself some support. Going to inhale, and as we inhale, bottom goes back, knees go forward, tummy muscles come up and in. And as we exhale, we press through. We're going to do just 6 of these normal ones here. So sinking down, hinging at ankles, knees and hips. Find that connection around your middle and press through. Let's go. 4 and 3, 2, maybe going a little bit further down now, keeping an eye on what your knees are doing, keeping them super strong. And our last one here, sinking down, toe muscles come up and in, toes relaxed, and press through. And now we're going to try and add in a lovely balance. If you need to step off the mat onto a harder surface, that is absolutely fine, because sometimes a squishy mat can just be a bit too much here. So let's sink down into the Pilates squat and then float our heels up. Lower the heels back down, press through. Inhale, squat. Exhale, float the heels. Inhale, lower the heels and press. If you need to hold on to something like a wall or a chair, just to give yourself that extra support with your balance, that's no problem at all. Let's go 4 more times like this. Sinking down, heels up, ooh, lower and press. That was a little bit juddery for me there. Let's go. 3, and 2. Oh gosh, I can really feel it as I take my heels down. And last one here, sinking down, float the heels, lower the heels down and press up and walk through your feet here. Well done. Maybe go into a little bit of an ankle circle if you need to. So coming back into our arms and shoulders now. Gosh, I can really feel it in my legs. Going to get a hold of our hand weights. Now these are optional, so you can start off by doing this exercise, windows without if you wish. And we'll go back into Pilates stance, so heels together, toes apart. Toe muscles coming down and in and arms lengthened. So let's breathe in to prepare and now breathe out. Float the arms up in front of your shoulders and up over your shoulders. Then inhale, draw the elbows down. Press the arms up, forward and down. Nice and smoothly. We're just doing 5 more of these normal ones. Breathing in to prepare. Breathe out, float the arms up. Inhale down, exhale, press, forward and down. And again, lift, down, press and forward. Lovely. And again, lift, press, up, forward. 3 more times. So now we're focusing on keeping our body as still as possible whilst we have these long weighted limbs moving around. And 2 more. Lift, down, press, through, and our final one, all the way up, press, through and down. Oh, I can feel that. Good. Let's give our shoulders a wiggle. Now we can either stick with that with or without the weights, or we can add a little bit more challenge on by adding a few more of those shoulder presses in. So just making sure you're nicely set up still with your toes apart, heels together and hips facing forward. Breathing in to prepare. Let's breathe out. Float the arms all the way up. Inhale down. Exhale, press. Inhale down. Exhale, press. Inhale down. Exhale, press. And float the arms forward and down. Good. And again. Exhale, lift all the way up. Lower. Press. Lower. Press. Lower. Ooh. Press. Forward and down. My gosh. Can we manage 2 more sets like this? I might have to put the weights down. I'm really feeling it now. Breathing in once again. Exhale, float. Lower. Press. Lower. Press. Lower. Press. Forward and down. We've got one last one. All the way up here. Press. So keeping really strong through the legs. Final one here. Pressing through and floating down with control. Well done. Rolling through your shoulders. Let's take those weights, pop them down once again. And time to get some more movement through our spine now. So we're going to take our feet back to parallel and then take 1 foot forward. So you can either have this where both heels are down on the floor, or you can bend that back knee and the front knee a little bit more so you're in a really strong lunge position. My legs are feeling a bit shaky, so I'm going to go into the position with both heels on the floor, just so I'm a little bit more supported, and then float the arms up, palms facing. Take a nice deep breath in, and then as we breathe out, we draw the elbow back, open the arm and sweep. Going to the side, draw the elbow back, open and sweep. So we've got a really lovely bow and arrow here. Keeping the hips facing forward, but remember, we can go into a slightly deeper lunge if that works today for you. So back into this position, arms front, draw back, open, sweep. Draw back, open, sweep. Toes relaxed here, back, open, sweep. Last one, back, open and sweep. Bring the arms down. Well done. I'm going to keep our legs here, maybe split them a little bit further, bring that back heel off the floor, and we're going into some tiny split leg lunges. So as we breathe out, knees go forward, inhale, press. So I'm really having to focus on something in front of me that isn't moving. And again, toes relaxed and press. Breathing out and in. Let's go 4 and 3. Good. 2 and our final one, sinking down, pressing up and then walking our feet back through. Well done. So hopefully you can really feel that your legs are working hard there. But again, if you need to, when we go on to the other side, just grab hold of a wall or something to give you a bit of more support with your balance if you need to. Let's go into the other side now. So splitting our legs once more. You can choose whether to have that back heel down or come into that really strong lunge position. And we'll go into our bow and arrow on this side. So breathing in to prepare. Breathe out, draw the elbow back. Open the arm and sweep. I'm going to have this with my feet down. Draw back, open, sweep. Draw back, open, sweep round, back, open, and sweep. Lovely. Hips remain facing forward. And again, draw back, open, and sweep. Lovely long arm, back, open, sweep. Good. 2 more times to each side. Let's focus on that rotation through the spine and the openness through the front of the chest as you sweep the arms around. Last couple here. Final one. And bring the arms down. Well done. Let's keep the legs here. Maybe take them slightly wider. Ready for those little lunges. We're not going crazy with the lunges, just really controlled here. Breathing in to prepare. Breathing out to sink. Keeping your body nice and upright and strong. Sinking down, that was my ankle going, and press. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Lovely, let's go. 5. Gosh, it's a nightmare, this ankle. 4, 3, 2, and our last one, sinking down, pressing through, and walk your feet back through. Well done. Give your feet and ankles a little bit of a wiggle. Coming back into our parallel position, we're going into our roll downs. Now you can choose either to have your feet in parallel or go into your Pilates stance, it's up to you. But with this roll down, we're going to make sure that we're not pushing our bottom really far back. So if you do have a wall or a door handy, I'd like you just to stand fairly close to it so you can feel whether you've got any movement in that hip area. So let's take a nice deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, nod, soften and roll. Actually, I'm going to go back into parallel. I just don't feel up to Pilates stance roll downs today. So let's nod, soften and roll. Arms hanging long and heavy, drawing up and in through your middle, lengthening down here. Pausing here for your breath in. Bend your knees if you feel like you need it. Tuck the tailbone. Restack. And all the way up. Well done. So that was a really tight one for me. Let's go 2 more times. Breathing in here. And breathe out, nod, soften and roll. Hanging long and heavy through your arms and your head in your neck. Brilliant. Breathing in and tuck once again, opening through the front of the hips. Restacking here. Shoulders down. And one last one. Breathing in. Breathing out, nod, soften and roll. Hanging long and heavy here, breathing in, and then open up once more. Restacking the spine, bone by bone by bone, shoulders down, and lifting up. Well done. Giving your legs a bit of a walk out. We're going into another balance exercise. Weights here are optional, but where am I? They're really good to add just a little bit of an extra something to this exercise. We're starting once again in parallel, and then bring your feet slightly closer together. Lengthen up through the breastbone and breathe in. And now as you breathe out, we float one arm up and the opposite knee comes up as well. Lower down with control. So we're just staying at the top just for a beat here. So we breathe out, lift up, pause. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, float up and pause. Inhale down. Well done. And again. Exhale up. Whoop. Balancing really well here, clearly. And again. Float and pause. Lower down. Exhale, float. Inhale, lower. Let's go one more time to each side now. Floating up, lower down. Last one. Float up and pause. Inhale and lower. Good. So walk out through your feet if you need it. Now we're going to add in an open arm and open leg. This one is all about the mobility of the hips. So it's a really nice one to do. So we're just floating up once again, just to shoulder and hip height. And then we open out to the sides, draw back in, lower down. Breathe out, lift, open, back in, down. So going from side to side here, lift, open, back in, down. Now we're trying to keep our bodies as still as possible and really focus on opening out through that knee. So this is perfect for the hips, really strengthening for the glutes as well. Good. One last one to each side now. Open, back in, down, and our final one, lift, open, back in, down, and walk through your feet. Well done. Let's take the weights down once more. Now we're coming into a really great challenge exercise. Now, there are various levels for this one, so I'll show you them bit by bit. You're going to stand at the end of the mat. Try not to have any slippy socks on. That's a must. Take your socks off if necessary, and then stand with your feet hip distance apart. Shoulders down and lifting it through the breastbone once more, breathing in. And now as you breathe out, we nod, soften and roll. So we're going into a regular roll down here. Arms hanging long and heavy. If you need to bend your feet, you can do so. Because we're then going to walk our hands forward. Let your heels come up and we set ourselves into our high plank position with your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Pause here for your breath in. And then as we breathe out, we're pushing our hips high into the air once more. Walking our hands back towards our toes. Heels down, get your balance. And then open all the way up once again. Tucking the tailbone under, and shoulders come down. Well done. Let's go again here, breathing in, and breathe out to nod, soften and roll. Arms hanging heavy, rolling down here, and then walking your hands forward. Set yourself up, hands underneath your shoulders, breathing in, and breathe out, push. Hips back up, heels come down, walk back. Pausing here and rolling all the way up. Okay, let's do one more like that, and then we've got the opportunity to add on something a little bit extra if we wish. Breathing in here again, and really making sure that roll down is super precise. Drawing up and in through your middle, arms hanging long and heavy, walking forward. Nice and strong here, toe muscles coming up and in, pressing through, walk back, heels down, pause, and roll all the way up. Shoulders coming down. Okay, so if you wish to add on something a little bit extra, we're adding in a press up. So give it a go if you wish. Now this exercise as it is really great for the strength of your arms, brilliant for arms and shoulders and your resistance. So let's go once again, rolling down. We'll just do 2 of these. Rolling down as before, so really take your time and care over this. Walk your arms forward, hands underneath your shoulders, and now let's go into a press up. I can't believe I did that. Push your bottom up in the air and walk back. Heels down. Breathing in, opening up once again, and we'll do our final one here. Breathing in here, nod, soften and roll, toes relaxed. Walk your hands forward. Let's find that press up once again. Hips go up, walk back, Heels down, pause, rolling all the way up. Nice and slowly, back up to the top. And you can have a gorgeous stretch here. Reaching your arms through, press the air away. So we're already halfway through our class. That was a really strong move to finish the first half on. So have a quick break and a drink, and I'll see you back on the mat shortly for part number 2. Hi again. So for the second part of the class, we're in 4-point kneeling. So coming round and setting yourself up with your hands directly beneath your shoulders and your knees directly beneath your hips, hip distance apart and shoulder width apart. So from here, let's just make sure we've got that lovely support through our middle. So we're not slumping down, we're really supported, pressing the mat away and drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Just starting here with a lovely pelvic tilt. So making sure you've got lots of space between your fingers, or you can create fists if you need to. Going into a little tuck of the tailbone and then stick your bottom back. So tucking under, send your bottom back. So nice and smooth here. Tuck and lengthen, tuck and lengthen. Lovely, let's go. 3, 2, good. And our last one here, tucking underneath, send the bottom back. Now we're going to try and go into our full on cat. So when we do this, let's go into that pelvic tilt once again. So tucking the tailbone and then bone by bone by bone, start lengthening up, pressing the mat away and getting as big a curve as possible in the spine. And then we inhale, breastbone forward, bottom backwards, and let's deepen the lumbar curve. And we go again, tuck and roll, press the mat away, lengthening through, breastbone forward, bottom back. I'm going to keep on going like this, rolling through, breastbone forward, bottom back. So really enjoying this movement as much as you can and just being aware of any sticky bits that you have going on in your spine today. 2 more times. And our final one here, tuck and roll, pressing through, lengthening back to your start position. Sit back over your heels if you need to and go into your lovely wrist rolls just to release any pressure. And then we'll go back into 4-point kneeling and straight into our tabletop 2. You can choose to go, just stick with tabletop 1 if you prefer. So tabletop 1, we inhale, slide opposite arm and leg away, draw back in. Tabletop 2, we slide opposite arm and leg away and then lift the arm and leg up to shoulder height, lower down, draw back in. We go to the side, sliding away, lift, down and in. Slide, lift, down and in. So if you need a little bit of extra on your back, pop your squishy Pilates ball there and that will give you some lovely feedback about what is going on through your spine and through your hips. Let's go a couple more times on each side. Slide, float, down, in. Slide, float, down and in. Perfect. 2 more times to each side now. Slide, float, down, in. Last one to each side. And our final one, slide, float, nice long leg, down and in. And once again, sit back over your heels, rolling through your wrists. So now I'm going to try and add in a leg tap. Now this is really going to get the size of the legs and the glutes working, I hope. If it doesn't, well, let me know. We're going to do one leg first and then we'll go on to the other leg. So 6 on each side. Back into 4-point kneeling, either with fists or with your hands lengthened on the floor. We inhale, slide the leg up, and exhale, lift that leg up. Now, keeping the leg long, I'd like you to try and tap that leg down to the side. Lift the leg back up, lower, and return. So we're keeping that leg super long and keeping our arms lengthened as well. Tap, back up, down, and in. Slide, lift. Tap, back, down, and in. Now I have quite mobile hips, so I can tap like at a 90-degree angle to my body, but if yours is less pronounced, that's absolutely fine. And throughout this exercise, really keep that connection through your middle. Let's go 2 more times now. Slide, lift, tap, back up, down, and in. And our last ones, slide, lift, tap, back up, down, and in, and sit back over your heels. Well done. Roll through your shoulders and through your wrists. So now we'll do 6 on the other leg. So make sure you've got plenty of room around you. Back into 4-point kneeling. Knees underneath your hips and hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, slide and lift. And then let's sweep the leg to the side. So just have a think about whether one leg feels any different from the other. Slide, lift, tap, back up, down, and in. Slide, lift, tap, back up, down, and in. So really feeling that support around your middle here. Lift, tap, back up, down, in, and 2 more times now. Slide, lift, tap, back up, and our last one now. Lengthen the leg, lift the leg, tap to the side, bring the leg up, lower, knee back in, and sit back over your heels. Well done. So I could feel that one leg felt a lot smoother than the other. So roll around through your wrists. That's it. So working onto that hip mobility once more, we're now doing a kneeling knee circle. This is very similar to what we do when we're in relaxation position with the knee circle lying on our back, but this time we're in 4-point kneeling once again. Now the beauty is it's a little bit more challenging. You have to really stabilize through your middle because we haven't got the mat supporting us, but also because we're using our arms on the floor, we're doing lots of weight bearing, which is fab for our bone density and bone health. So back through, I'm going to now have fists underneath my shoulder, totally lost my words then. And we'll start by sweeping the knee in towards us and then circling around and through. We're going to alternate legs. So we bring the knee in, keeping the spine as still as possible, and circle. It might feel slightly awkward to begin with, but hopefully as you warm up, you find that you've got that lovely movement here. So in, circle, down, in, circle, down, in, circle, down. Good. One more time like this to each side. So really focusing on that beautiful movement of that hip area. In, circle, and down. Now let's reverse the movement. So rather than bring the knee in, we donkey kick the knee up and circle back around and return. Donkey kick, circle, and in. So going from side to side, don't worry too much about the breathing, just make sure you are breathing. And again, lift, circle, in. lift, circle, and in. Brilliant. One more time to each side now. Circle and in. Final ones now. Circle, in, and sit back over your heels once again and give yourself a rest. Well done. Fab. So we've got one more set of exercises on our fronts now in 4-point kneeling. We're starting with our leg pull front prep. So again, really strong through your shoulders and your arms and your core. We're trying to keep our hips really level with the mat as well. Very easy to push our hips high, so let's try and keep a lovely, long, straight body. Back into 4-point kneeling. Make sure you've got plenty of room around you and find that lovely neutral spine and pelvis and that support through your middle. Let's breathe in to prepare and then breathe out. Slide one leg back and tuck the toes under. Slide the second leg back and tuck the toes under. Return and return. So exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, and again. Exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. So go from side to side like this. Exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. Perfect. And again. Exhale, out, in, and in. 2 more times here. Out, out, in, and final one. Out, out, in, and sit back once again and give your wrists a rest. So now we're adding in a leg lift as well. If this is too much, just stick with that plank position that we've just been practicing. But if you can, try and go into this leg lift too. So 4-point kneeling, same as before. We exhale, exhale, and then we lift one leg up, pointing the toe, lower the leg down. Lift the second leg up, lower the leg down, bring back in and in. Let's go again. Slide, slide. Point and lift, lower. Point and lift, lower. Back in, back in. We've got 2 more times like this. I can really feel my arms today. So slide, slide. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Return, return. And our last one here. Slide, slide. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Return, return. And sit back over your heels and have a rest here. Oh, my arms and shoulders, I can feel that. So give your legs and your wrists and your shoulders a bit of a rest. So we're now coming into our lovely extension exercises. So good for strengthening through the posterior line of the spine and the back of the body. So really strong, which is going to be really helpful for posture. Great to help you stand upright, and also really strengthening for when you're walking and running and doing jobs, because it just makes you strong all over rather than just strong through the front line. So we're starting today with a lovely diamond press. I really like starting with diamond press just because it gets us into the extension and warms us up before we go into anything more complicated. So bring yourself down onto the floor. Let's set ourselves up with our legs lengthened out behind us in parallel. Toe muscles coming up and in, and your fingers and thumbs together in a diamond shape, and your forehead resting on that diamond with your elbows out wide. So we're going to leave our arms on the floor to begin. Nice long back of neck, breathing in. And as we breathe out, let's lift up bone by bone by bone. Gaze going down at the floor, shoulders relaxed, breathing in here. And then as you breathe out, let's lengthen back down onto the floor and down. And again, breathe out, lift. Try and avoid pushing through your arms too much. We really want this strength to be coming from the back of the spine. And again, lifting up, pause, lower down. We'll go 3, and 2, and our last one. Lifting up, 2 muscles coming up and in, so you're nicely supported, and lower down. For our next 6, let's keep our fingertips glued to our forehead. So we're lifting our hands, wrists and arms at the same time. Breathing in here and breathe out. Lifting up, pause, lower down. Exhale, lift, pause, lower down. So really trying to make sure your spine is supported, so you've got the tummy muscles coming in, you're not just slumping down into the mat. 3 more here. Breathe out, lift. Inhale down. And 2. And our last one now, lifting up and lower down. Oh, I could feel that working. Now, if you need to, just send your bottom back over your heels and come into your lovely stretch your arms forward, bottom back. Because now we're adding in an elbow move. So I'll show you from the front here. We lift up into that diamond press like before. Now hovering in diamond press, draw the elbows down to the waist. So we're hinging at the shoulders, arms come back up and we lower down. So we exhale, lift and squeeze, inhale back and down. All right, so let's do 6 of those on our front. Now you don't need to lift up very high, just lift so you're hovering and then maintain that hover as you add in those elbow movements. So back down onto your front. Elbows out wide, toe muscles coming up and in, supported here nicely. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Lift, squeeze, back, down. Lift, squeeze, back, down. Lift, squeeze, back, down. Lovely, let's go 3. And 2. Keeping the back of the neck nice and long. And last one here, really feeling the shoulder blades working. Back in and down and rest. So once again, if you need to, just send your bottom back over your heels, opening out through the back of the spine. And we're moving now into a lovely single leg lift and kick. So just practicing those lifts first of all. So I'd like you to stack your arms and just rest your head on the back of your hands. Legs are long out behind you, toe muscles coming up and in. And we're just going to float one leg up, lifting from the hip and lower down. Now, if you don't have very much lift, don't worry. But I'd like you to think about grounding your pelvis down into the mat. So you're opening out through the front of the hips. And when you think about that grounding and the support through your middle, you can often lift a little bit higher through the leg. So breathing in here and breathe out. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. So going from side to side here, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Lovely. Keeping shoulders down, jaw relaxed as well. Going from side to side. Brilliant. Let's go. 3. 2. And our last one here. Lifting up, down, up and down. Good. So now we're going into that lift, but then we're adding in a kick as well. So breathe in to prepare, breathe out, lift the leg, and then kick the heel in towards the bottom whilst your thigh is lifted. Lengthen the leg, lower down. So we lift the entire leg and then kick, 2, 3, lengthen the leg, lower the leg. So alternating sides here. Exhale, lift, inhale, kick, 2, 3. Exhale, lengthen, lower. Pause on the inhale. Exhale, lift, inhale, kick, 2, 3. Lengthen and down. So that leg lift is super important here. It's going to give us a little bit more openness through the front of the hip. And as you bring the heel in, try and get that heel in towards the bottom. Let's go 2 more times on each side. Kick, 2, 3. Final one. And last one here, lift, kick, 2, 3, lengthen and down. Well done. So now turning this into a double leg kick, let's bring our legs slightly closer together so they're in parallel but they're not too far apart. Head is still supported on the hands. Now we're going to try and kick both legs at the same time. 1, 2, and lengthen down. We're keeping our thighs on the floor to start with. So we heel, heel, and down. Feeling the back of the legs and the glutes switching on, and we're keeping the upper body as still as possible. Kick, kick, down. Kick, kick, down. Lovely. 2 more times here. Kick, kick, lengthen, and kick, kick, and lengthen. So now we're adding in that double leg lift. So bring your legs together, squeeze the legs up, and then with your thighs slightly lifted, go into the kick. So we lift both thighs, kick, kick, lengthen, lower. A little bit more challenging. Make sure you're keeping that connection around your middle so you're not just slumping into the floor and you're really supporting your spine now. Kick, kick, lengthen, lower. 3 more times like this. Lengthen, lower, and 2. And our last one. Lengthen, kick, kick, long legs, and lower down. Well done. Let's just give our spines a rest by pushing back. Hips go back over the heels, reaching forward. And just breathing in wide and deep into your back here. Brilliant. So we're coming back onto the front and we're now going to practice our swan prep. So this is very exciting. It's not one that we've done before, but let's take our legs back behind us, forehead down. So we just practice with the upper spine first and then add in that double leg kick. So hands either side of the mat, forehead down, just going into our cobra prep. So we're breathing in to prepare, and now breathe out, slide the nose away and lifting up just until you feel like you want to lengthen your arms. So really supported, shoulders melting away from the ears. Pause here for your inhale and breathe out, lengthen down. Let's go again. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, slide. Lift and pause. Lower down with control. And again. Pausing here. Lowering back down. Good. So trying to get that lovely extension through our spine. So try not to skimp with it and just really push yourself, not push yourself, just try and find that position where you want to lengthen your arms. We'll go 2 more times here. Lengthening back down with control. And our final one now. Slide and lift, pausing here, lengthening back down. So let's put those 2 exercises together. So we slide into the cobra prep, and then as you come down, I'd like to lift both legs up in the air. Lengthen your legs down and simultaneously come back into your cobra prep. And then lengthen yourself down as you lift your legs. And again, slide and lift, lengthen down. Slide and lift, lengthen down. And now when you feel confident, you can slide and lift into cobra prep. Keep on going into your full on cobra and then melting back down and simultaneously lift your legs up. So it's like you're rocking on your pelvis like a seesaw. Lifting up, good. And lengthen down. Perfect. Final 2 here, nice long legs. as we lengthen up, coming back down, final one, all the way up, keeping your fingers nice and strong on the floor, lengthening down, bringing your legs back down, press through your shoulders, bottom back arms forward, and enjoy that gorgeous stretch here through your spine. So just sending your hips back, arms forward, and opening out through the back of the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. So let's push ourselves back through and draw ourselves round. We're going to finish off with just a couple of seated exercises. So you're nicely warmed up now, ready for our roll up. So if you can use as many props as you like. So if you need to have a cushion underneath your lumbar spine, that's a great option. Or you can have your band around your feet and hold the band one end in each hand. And that's a really lovely way, again, of bringing yourself up through to your seated position. If you don't need any of those props, that's absolutely fine. So let's lengthen our legs out. We're going to have our toes pointing it towards the ceiling, legs parallel, slightly closer together than hip distance apart. And we're sitting nice and tall, lengthening up through the breastbone, finding that support around our middle with our arms out long. Breathing in to prepare and breathe out. Let's tuck the tailbone and bone by bone. Lengthen back down onto the floor, keeping your legs long and heavy, melting down through your spine. There's a feather on my hip. And let's float the arms up and over. Breathing in here and breathe out. Sweep the arms up, nod the chin in print and lift up. Bone by bone by bone. Peeling yourself off the floor, back up to seated, and let's continue rolling forward. Arms travelling over your legs, fingers over toes. Restack here, breathe in and breathe out. Tuck the tailbone and bone by bone, lengthen down onto the floor. Nice, long, heavy legs. Avoiding collapsing, breathing in here. Sweep up, nod, imprint, roll all the way up. Good. Arms travelling forward. Let's go 2 more times like this. So restacking the spine, shoulders down, breathing in. Tuck the tailbone, lengthen down bone by bone by bone. Long and heavy legs. Breathing in. Nod, imprint, peeling up. Rolling forward. Let's just do one last one here. Find that neutral position before you tuck the tailbone. Lengthening down. Up and back, breathing in again. Sweep, nod, imprint, all the way up. Going forward. Restack here and bring your arms down. Well done. Give your legs a little bit of a wiggle and a bit of a stretch. And let's come round and sit in our long frog position. So we're just going to finish off with a lovely side stretch just to ease out through our spine. So weight going down evenly through our sitting bones, feet together, knees apart, arms out to the side. Let's breathe in, breathe out, float the arm up, come into that gorgeous up and over stretch. Lovely side reach here. Brilliant. Enjoying how that feels. Restack, float the arm down, go to the side, lift the arm up and over. Restack here, arm comes down. Let's do one last one to each side. Up, over, restack and down, and final one. Up and over, shoulder away from ear, restack, bring the arm down. Good, let's go 2 more times, breathing in and breathe out. Big stretch here, reaching up. Press the air away. Good. And one more time, all the way up, big stretch. Press the air away. And you can give yourself a nice pat. Well done. Thank you for joining me today. Parts of that exercise are really quite challenging, especially those press-ups that we did and our swan prep too. So I hope you really enjoyed it. Please do let me know how you got on, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week for some more Pilates. So until then, take care and see you then. Bye-bye.